critical documents. These are certain documents that are very important. Sac passe to all my go-getters. My name is Edgy, and in today's video, I want to talk about the things that you need to know before you take the loan signing exam. If you are new to notary like myself, I just took the test, by the way, and I passed it, which I was so happy because I thought I probably would have to take it like 3 times, but I only took it once, and I think I had like a 80 something, and you only need a 80% to pass the test. The best thing about this test is the fact that you could take as long as you want. You could take 3 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. You could be on the computer for 2 hours and then somebody call you, you talk on the phone, you come back in front of the computer and you continue to take the test. Out of 45 questions, you could take your time. It's open book, which I did not know. Just today, actually, I was searching how to pass the NNA exam and somebody did a video about that. I found out that while you're taking the test, right, in the bottom, there's something that says references. If you click on it, it has a link. It have a link to a book, right? It's like a big page. It's called, if I look down, by the way, it's my notes. I'm looking at my notes. The book is called The Notary Signing Agent Code of Conduct. So basically, while you're taking the test, you could click on it. I guess, I don't know if it takes you to that book. And I'm gonna link it to the description. It's long though. You have to actually read it and take your time and look for the answers. The YouTube video that I saw that in, it was someone named Shauna. She had a link to the document, and I will also link it to my description. And I didn't know that, and I took the test without even knowing that. If I knew that, I would have not take that long. I would have probably got it done faster. But yeah, so while you're taking the test, it's an open book and you could look through that. So if you click on it, you could download that document. Before you take the exam, I know you're probably excited or you probably took the exam already. Let me tell you guys some basic things that you need to know. Try to focus more on what you cannot do as a loan signing agent rather than what you can do. These are the 3 things you're responsible for when you're a loan signing agent. It's just to guide the borrower where they should sign, date, and initial the document. And certain documents are going to require for you to notarize them. And that's basically it. When you're going to be showing the signer each document, or should I say the borrower, your job is not to explain in detail. Your job is not to explain the document. Your job is to just give a little summary, just give a little overview of what each document is about. If you know that, then you're good. Then you're gonna have a lot of the answers right on the test. If the borrower is asking you what is their loan amount, then you're gonna show them the document that shows their loan amount, right? You might show the borrower the closing disclosure, which has their loan amount. So if the borrower asks you something, don't try to figure it out. Just try to look for the document that has that information, okay? Like for example, there's a document called the note, right? If I have the document, which is called the note, all I would have to say is, here is the note. This document is a promise that you will pay off the loan. And then that's it. And then I'm gonna be showing the borrower where the numbers are, where everything is. But other than that, if they're asking me questions about other things that's not on the paper, then they would have to call their lender or they would have to call the title company. When we're doing advertisement, when we're promoting our services, we have to make sure that we put that we're not lawyers or anything like that. Another thing that's more common sense, we have to dress professionally. So the signing company is in charge of how we dress, right? And anyways, you have to dress professionally when you're doing this job. So if they say you have to dress in a suit, you have to wear a suit. So while you're taking the test, they might ask you questions regarding your dress code, because it's gonna start asking you tricky questions about if the borrower is asking you your opinion about their interest rate, or if they're asking you your opinion about anything, do not say anything. You cannot give your opinion when it comes to that. If they ask you, what is my loan amount or what is my interest rate, you just show them the document that has those information. I believe that they're gonna ask you basic requirements when it comes to being a loan signing agent. So to be certified in the NNA, you have to take a background screening every year. So if they ask you any questions regarding background screening, just remember that you have to do it every year and you have to take the test every year. And another thing that I remember that they ask is the fact that you cannot force the borrower to sign the paper. You're only there to guide them where to sign, where to date, where to initial. Anything else, that's not your job. So if the signer just all of a sudden just changes their mind and they don't want to sign anymore, there's nothing you can do. You cannot do anything about that. All you can do is just take the document and just leave. Another question that I remember they ask, certain things that you have to take in mind is the fact that when we're printing these documents, those are sensitive information. A lot of these documents have social security numbers, they have the borrower's address, name, all of those personal information. So they're gonna ask you things regarding to if you would let your spouse print these documents for you, okay? The thing is, you cannot let anybody print these documents for you. And you cannot go to a public place like the library and print these documents. You have to make sure to print the documents in your home or in your personal computer or using your USB. You have to be responsible to print out these documents. Once you're done with the signing, if you have these documents in your possessions, you have to make sure to buy a shredder. Regarding if we're doing advertisement or if we're talking to the borrower, you cannot promise the borrower that this signing will be for only 30 minutes, right? You cannot promise and say, oh, this will take only 30 minutes or this will take only 40 minutes, because the fact is you cannot rush the signer. You cannot rush him or her. The only thing you could promise is the fact that you could be there on time. You could promise and tell the signing company that you could be punctual and you're gonna be there on time, but you cannot promise that it will be done quickly. When you're confirming the appointment with the borrower, so before you get to the borrower's house, once you're confirming the appointment, there's a certain procedure that you have to do. They expect you to call the borrower. You have to ask the borrower if they have an ID. Make sure, tell them to have an ID so they could prepare themselves before you come to the house. Make them check the ID to make sure that the name in the ID matches the name that's in the loan document, which is very important, because if the names are different, then you cannot do the signing, or there might be an error. Another thing that I know for a fact that might be in the test is your critical documents. These are certain documents that are very important. These are documents that make sure to memorize them. Number one document is your closing disclosure. Your closing disclosure shows the information of the loan. So any information regarding the loan itself, the closing disclosure have all of this information. So remember that. There's another critical document called the note. The note is a document. It just means that the borrower promises to pay off the loan. Another critical document is called the settlement statement, which is also known as the HUD-1. It just breaks down all of the numbers that are involved in the transaction. That document also shows the loan amount, the projected monthly payments. And there's another important document that's called the mortgage, or it's called a deed of trust. Remember, these are critical documents. So just remember those basics. And another thing too, also they always talk about being a contractor. A contractor could be anybody. A contractor could be the borrower. A contractor could be the title company. It could be the escrow company. So the contractor could be anybody that hires you. That's the only thing I could think of. If you guys have any questions at all, or if you just took the test, make sure to put that in the comment below. Let me know, guys, how many times you guys took the test, or if you are taking the test right now, or you plan on taking the test, what are some questions that you have for me? If I could answer those questions, I don't mind doing so. Is there anything that you're confused about that you want to know? If I know it, I will give you guys the answer. That's if I know it, because I'm still new. I still haven't did a loan signing yet. I'm still waiting. I just signed up to a bunch of signing companies, so I'm still waiting to get approved. So I'm in the same boat as you guys, and I'm excited, anxious, worried, just a bunch of emotions. Well, like I said, I will link a lot of things in the description. If you have any questions for me, let me know. So my name is Edgy, and I'm out.